Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you today about something that I actually wrote in a blog post probably about 7 years ago or so. And it was actually Muck Boots and Motherhood originally started as a blog. And then after a while, things just got really busy. And so that blog went away. And then eventually I revamped it here as a YouTube channel and Instagram channel. And one of the things that I wrote on my blog back however many years ago was this article called I think it's like I Am a Tumbleweed. And basically it is in regards to a conversation that I had with a woman that I worked with at a previous job. And this woman had a very varied career past. She's probably about 30 years older than me or so. And she'd been an artist in several different types of like artistic fields. And then she'd worked at I think, gosh, she'd worked at like a hotel and all this other stuff. Like she'd worked at a bunch of different kinds of jobs. And I told her how it was really cool to hear about her past careers, because it was one of those things that, like, as someone at my age at the time, I think I was in my mid 20s, and so maybe about 10 years ago now. I was in around my mid 20s, and I kind of felt bad at the time in regards to my career past. And now, granted, mid 20s, I went to college, so I didn't have like a ton of careers prior to graduating from college. I just had, part-time jobs. And so out of college, though, I worked a lot in education. I worked a lot in sales. At the time, I was working in an elections office and things like that. And so there was something that I kind of felt bad that I didn't have a clear direction as to what I wanted to be when I grew up. I had friends that had known exactly what they wanted to be when they grew up for their entire lives, and they were doing that. I had my degree in journalism, and I was working in an elections office. It's one of those things where it's like, I wasn't doing what my degree said I should be doing. And if you've watched other videos, you'll know why. But it was one of those things that at that point in my life, I actually kind of felt bad for the fact that I had not yet settled down into like a set career field, because that's basically what I felt like I should have been doing, whether it was society telling me that or outside. I don't really remember at the time why I felt that way, but it was one of those things that I just wasn't feeling real great. So that conversation with her, oh, here's my cat. It was one of those things that at the time I was not feeling real great about myself. So that conversation I had with her was actually incredibly beneficial, because here's this woman who was very proud of the fact that she had a varied past when it came to career fields. And she said to me, the creative ones always do. And I thought that was interesting, because that's something. I am a creative individual. And since actually that job, I have been a tutor. I have owned my own business. I have been a travel agent. I have helped my husband with farming businesses and everything else. So still a very varied career path. And even now, I'm an author. And it's one of those things that it's okay. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And basically, it's kind of been placed in my heart to talk about, is it's okay to have a varied career path. It's okay to not necessarily know what you want to be when you grow up, even in your 20s or your 30s and stuff like that. I think there's this really big misconception that you have to stay in one field forever and be happy with it and never change and stuff like that. And yes, there's certain fields that you can like grow in and become better at and, move up the corporate ladder or whatever. But for me, it was a little bit different, because my husband and I made the decision, even before having children, that one of us was always going to at least be home most of the time with the children. And we didn't want to do daycare. We wanted to homeschool and everything else. And with that too, we wanted to still be able to give our children the experiences that they deserved, being on soccer teams or being in dance or being in gymnastics or whatever. We still wanted to be able to afford those things, to be able to allow them to have different experiences, to be able to travel. I mean, my gosh, I think my oldest child has been to almost 20 states so far, because we've been able to travel as a family, and that's predominantly always on one income. And so it's one of those things that it's okay to be a tumbleweed. It's okay to work in one position. Like at the time, I was working in an elections office, and you know what? At that time, that was what was right for our family. I was working full time at an elections office. My husband was working part time for his father's company, And that's what worked for our family at that time. And when that no longer worked for our family, my husband went back to full time at his father's company, and I actually ended up started tutoring because that's what worked for our family at that time, because we had another baby and things like that. And it was okay because our family dynamics changed. As some of you may already know, we're on baby number 4 now. I'm pregnant. I'm 26 weeks pregnant now with baby number 4. And so even then, even now, our family dynamics are still changing. So the things that our family needed 6 months ago is different than what my family's going to need in 3 months. And so it's okay to change. It's okay to have different career fields and things like that. And even then, it's okay to have different interests. Sometimes something you thought you would absolutely love, you realize you hate. I mean, I started my degree in architecture. Absolutely love design. I still love design. But I hated engineering calculus with a passion. Hated calculus. And so I didn't do it. And so I changed my degree to journalism because I also loved writing and I was very good at writing. So I'd got my degree in that. And that also goes with the fact of, too, is the whole tumbleweed thing. I think there's a certain amount of time where you have to stop and ask God, what do you want me to do? And as many of you know, being an author, being a writer is what I believe Yah is calling me to do. Now, there's still other things that he is having me do. There's still other things that I am doing outside of just being an author. But at the same time, I know in the long run, that's the calling he has placed on my life. And I don't know how much I don't know. I honestly don't know how many books I'm going to write. I don't know how long I'm going to be writing. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, or things like that. I know I'm working on promoting the current book I have. I saw the Earth Wake Up. But at the same time, I don't know what the future has in store for me, and that's okay. But at the same time, that's where you have to, if you feel like you're a tumbleweed, if you feel like you're just going from job to job with no direction, there's a certain point you have to stop. Sorry, guys. Woo! Sorry, my cat. She just jumped on the table again. There's a certain time period where you have to ask God, what do you want me to do? If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you're struggling career-wise, if you're feeling like you need a change of pace, you may have been in the same career field for 20 some odd years, but if you're not feeling right about it, you need to ask God, what do you want me to do? And be open to it. And like I've said in many of my videos before, I never ever thought I'd be a faith-based author, but here I am. But that's because I asked Yah, what do you want me to do? And he showed me. And so that's what I'm doing. And so it's one of those things, guys, it's okay to change career paths. It's okay to, be in something for 20 some odd years and realize it's not what's right for you anymore. And it's okay to change your career path based on the needs of your family. All that stuff's fine. You don't have to be in one career for the rest of your life. If you want to be, by all means, do it. But you don't have to be, and you don't have to feel bad that you're not. But at the same time, ask Yah. Ask him what he wants you to do. Ask him how he wants you to do things. And there's times where I've talked about my time period as a travel agent for the company I worked for. I absolutely believe that, besides the fact that's what worked for my family at that time, I absolutely believe that part of the reason I had that job was to witness to people about Yah and about his grace and his love and his provision and everything else because of what happened while I was working there. And so it's one of those things, guys, just pray on it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Realize that Yah has a calling for you in your life, and that's okay if things change. That's okay if jobs change and everything else. But be open to what he wants you to do as well, too. And if you're feeling that pull to do something different, but you don't know what it is yet, ask him. And he'll guide you and he'll show you and everything else. But I just want to let y'all know it's okay to be a tumbleweed. I am too. So, it's sometimes it is fun. Like I look back now, it's been 10 years since that conversation, and gosh, I think like 15 years or so since I graduated from college. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the past I have. I'm proud of my past career choices and everything else. And I'm proud that at the center of it, we kept our standards for what we wanted for our family, and that Yah has allowed us to keep those standards as well too. So if you guys have any thoughts or anything on this, like if you're another tumbleweed, I'd love to know if there's other tumbleweeds out there when it comes to the career field type thing. Definitely put your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. But I hope y'all have a great day.